The slap was not with a hand. It was with a laugh, sharp, public, mean. Teo stood in a hotel lobby with a courier bag and grease on his sleeves. He wore old sneakers. He held a paper cup and a soaked rain jacket. Security watched him like a stain. A woman in gold heels stared from head to toe and smirked. Her name was Bianca Royce. Lifestyle influencer. Rich parents. Smooth tongue online. Cold tongue in person. She pressed the elevator button and pretended not to see him. Then she turned, tilted her phone, and filmed him. "Girls, look," she said to her followers. "Some men talk big on chat then show up like this. Delivery boy vibes." People looked up. Staff froze. Teo lowered his eyes. He breathed once. Twice. He had planned this moment. He did not plan the sting. He let the sting sit. A bellhop stepped between them. "Ma'am, please." Bianca waved him off. She flicked her wrist at Teo. "Know your place," she said. "I like ambition. Not excuses." He held her gaze. "Come." He took the next breath slow. He did not argue. He had written the rules for this test. No reveal. No flex. No long speech. He wanted truth. Raw and ugly. "Sorry for the mess," he said. "Good night." He stepped out into rain and walked 3 blocks through puddles and horns. He dialed a number. "Mrs. Nwosu," he said. "The test is over." "Bad?" she asked. "Worse than bad," he said. "She filmed me." "Come by," she said. "We will talk. We will set the next move." He reached a quiet street. He shook water off his jacket and climbed the stairs to a small studio above a bakery. He shut the door and looked at the whiteboard on the wall. A single line sat at the top. "People who love power fear humility. People who love people respect work." He dropped his bag. He washed oil from his hands. He placed his phone on the table. A new message pulsed. It was from Bianca. "Sorry for earlier," she wrote. "I like you. You shocked me. Let's meet tomorrow. Brunch at Le Rivage. My table." He stared at the screen. He pressed his fingers to his eyes. The first step of the plan worked. The price hurt. 4 minutes in, pause and hear this. Watch till the end to see what happened to Teo and to Bianca. The turn was not a simple win. The turn changed more than a couple. It changed a block. It changed a rule. Teo did not sleep much. He thought about boys shoved from store aisles by guards. He thought about cleaners who greet luxury with a mop and no smile. He saw his father's hands. He heard his mother's voice. "Hold your head up. Tell the truth. Learn every day." Morning brought sun. A new video sat on Bianca's story. "Last night's fail," it read. The clip showed a slice of his face and his shoes. Her laugh sat on top like paint. He dressed in the same clothes. He kept the courier bag. He went to Le Rivage and stood on the edge of a terrace full of glass and white linen. Bianca waved him over without standing. "You were rude," she said. "You walked away." "You filmed me," he said. "You catfished me," she said. "Your messages were clean. Then you show up with grease." He sat. He ordered water. She snapped for a server like a queen. The server looked at Teo and softened his face. "Service workers know who bleeds." "Work is work," Teo said. "Work has levels," she said. "Aim higher." The server brought plates and a small smile for Teo. Bianca talked about brand deals and a pitch with a venture group next week. She talked about scale. She talked about a new co-working loft. "You should see the roof," she said. "I host a launch there Friday. Real investors. Real money. Bring a suit if you own one." He watched her push crumbs from her plate into a neat line. She never asked what he did. She never asked who he helped. She never asked who raised him. She liked rooms where staff stayed invisible. After brunch she stood, slipped on sunglasses and kissed air near his cheek. "I forgive you," she said. Then she whispered, low and slow, "Do not embarrass me again." He walked away with calm steps and a fast heart. He turned the corner and leaned against a brick wall. He dialed Mrs. Nwosu again. "She invited me to her launch," he said. "Good," she said. "We will meet her mentors there." "Her mentors?" he asked. "Rich men with money and thin souls," she said. "They treat girls like props and workers like rugs. You will not fight them with noise. You will fight them with light." He smiled into the phone. "Yes, Ma." He crossed town to a small office with plain chairs and a strong kettle. Mrs. Ebele Nwosu stood near the window in a skirt suit and flats. She hugged him. She brewed tea. She opened a folder with a simple label. Fair City Fund. "You asked for a plan 2 years ago," she said. "You built one with results. Jobs for youth. Rent support tied to school. A hotline for wage theft. The fund is ready to grow. He nodded. We need larger partners. Yes, she said. And we need a public story. People follow a story more than a spreadsheet. Your test is a story. Bang. Pride. A turn. He sat with the teacup in both hands. I hated that laugh, he said. You were not the only one, she said. Now pick your line. Pick your time. Speak without spite. He walked back into evening with a suit and a garment bag and grease still on his shoes. He kept both truths close. He grabbed a broom and swept the hallway outside his door. The old woman next door smiled at him. Morning, Tio, she said. Evening, he said. How is your knee? Better, she said. Your soup helped. He nodded. He went inside. He wrote one sentence for Friday on a card. Respect looks like payroll, eye contact, and clean floors. In that order. Friday came with gold sun and hard edges. He wore a simple navy suit and plain leather shoes. He took the long way to the loft. He watched kids drag scooters. He watched a janitor rest on a bucket. He watched a bus driver wave a boy across the street with a smile. He rode the elevator up. Music thumped. Plants hung from rails. People posed with drinks. Bianca glowed in silk and light. She waved him forward with a grin like glass. Tio, she said. Meet Adrian Mott. Venture legend. My shepherd. Adrian shook his hand and did not look at his eyes. And you are? Adrian said. A friend, Bianca said. A supporter, Tio said. And this is Mr. Graves, Bianca said. Family friend. Owns half the block. Adrian will fund us. Mr. Graves will find us a tenant. We scale in months. Mr. Graves smiled without teeth. We love a story of grit, he said to Bianca. Then he turned to Tio. What do you do? I work, Tio said. At what? Graves said. People, Tio said. Graves chuckled. We all do. A stage rose at the far end of the roof. Bianca walked up with a wireless mic and a smile that ate the room. She spoke in bright lines. She pitched a community app that matched deserving people with generous donors. Her words felt clean and empty. She said the word, empower, 8 times in 10 minutes. Adrian clapped first. Graves clapped slow. The room clapped because rooms do that. Bianca called her friend to the stage. Tio, say a word about grit, she said. Keep it short. He stepped into light. He looked at servers lined against a wall with black aprons and tired feet. He looked at the janitor near the stairwell with a bucket and a quiet face. He looked at Bianca. Grit does not trend, he said. Grit pays rent. A few people nodded. He held up the card. Respect looks like payroll, eye contact, and clean floors. In that order. Silence. A server smiled with her eyes. Mr. Graves shifted. Adrian checked his phone. Tio took a breath. And I have one more thing. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded paper. He opened it and held it up so Bianca and her mentors could see. It was a deed. To a building. On the same block. A door opens and a mask slips. Bianca stared at the paper. She laughed a little too loud. Cute, she said. A flyer. Tio lowered the page and looked at the crowd. I grew up 5 blocks from here, he said. I worked the back of kitchens. I saw men steal tips with a smile. I saw women hold 2 jobs and still hide from landlords. I watched boys park dreams for fear of rent. A low murmur rolled across the roof. Some faces closed. Some faces opened. I run Fair City Fund, he said. We buy troubled buildings with strict rules. We tie leases to labor audits. We fund legal help. We build rooms for kids to study while parents work night shifts. We do not do charity. We do justice. Adrian stopped scrolling. Mr. Graves tilted his head. Bianca's smile froze. She stepped forward. You said you deliver food, she said through her teeth. I deliver hope with receipts, he said. And I still carry bags when rain hits. Work is not an insult. He turned the deed around. It bore the name of a new owner. Fair City Partners. He read the address. The crowd recognized it. The building 2 doors down from Bianca's planned co-working loft. Her launch deck had leaned on that address for foot traffic, brand, and locked-in tenants. Mr. Graves spoke first. Who sold to you? A landlord who wanted out, Tio said. He liked cash on time and tenants who keep things clean. He did not like complaints about managers who mock accents and shave hours. Graves' jaw tightened. You smear. I quote, Tio said. With dates. Adrian stepped in with a smooth voice. We love a bootstrap story, he said. We do not love public drama. Bianca's pitch is about scale and content. Not about old slum tales. Old slum tales, a server repeated under her breath. Bianca pressed her hand flat over the mic and hissed, "You set me up." "You set yourself up," he said. "You laughed at a man who works with his hands. You filmed him to score points with strangers." She glanced at the servers. At the janitor. At the camera on a tripod near the DJ. "Now what?" she asked, voice low. "Now we talk terms," he said. "We bring your project under a model that pays workers and tenants first. We drop language about deserving poor from your deck. We center rights, not pity." She scoffed. "My brand will never share a stage with rules." He looked at the room. "There you go," he said. "Brand over people." Adrian took the mic. "We will move to the investor circle in the lounge," he said. "Only invited guests." He gave Teo a thin smile. "You are welcome to send materials later." Teo stepped down. The servers watched him pass. One touched her chest, small and fast, as if to say thank you without words. He nodded back. In the lounge, Adrian poured whiskey with a steady wrist. Graves stood by a window and texted. Bianca paced. "By the building next to her spot," Graves said without looking up. "Price them out." Adrian sipped and smiled. "We squeeze. Then we own the story." The door opened. Mrs. Nwosu walked in with a small team. Plain suits. Firm faces. She handed Graves a folder. "Your bid failed this morning," she said. "City blocked it after labor claims. Our board has first right on the next 2 buildings on this block. Paperwork is in motion." Graves' eyes went flat. "Who are you?" "An old woman with receipts," she said. "And a fund that pays on time." Bianca stood between the men and Teo. "All of this for what?" she asked him. "For revenge." "For respect," he said. "For my neighbors. For the boy sweeping your stairs who you never see." Her phone buzzed. A new message flashed across her screen. A friend sent a link. Last night's fail clip had jumped to a larger page. Comments poured in. Some mocked her. Many defended workers. A few posted screenshots of her past jokes about struggle chic. Her face lost color. She swallowed. "We need air," she said. She walked out to the roof. Teo followed. The city stretched wide. Sirens somewhere far. Music low. Voices tight. "I was wrong," she said without looking at him. "I spoke like a child. I hurt you." "You hurt more than me," he said. "You taught thousands to laugh at the wrong target." She squared her shoulders. "I will fix it," she said. "Words first," he said. "Then deals." She nodded once. She turned to the guests. She took the mic. "I spoke with pride this week," she said. "I mocked work. I thought money made me wise. It did not. I want to do better." A few claps rose. Some people looked bored. Change rarely pleases a room built for ease. Mr. Graves leaned into Adrian. "We pull. She is a liability." Adrian sipped. "Not yet. She draws eyes. We mold the arc redemption cells." Teo caught Mrs. Nwosu's eye across the space. She shook her head. She had seen such arcs. Gloss on harm. No structure under it. Bianca handed the mic to Teo. "Tell them your plan," she said, voice small. He explained Harbor Suites, a worker-first co-op office model that anchored blocks with audits, childcare, and rent relief. He walked through clean numbers. He named partners. He cited outcomes. The servers drifted closer. A few investors listened for yield. Some left for the bar. Real change sifts a room. Mr. Graves stepped toward the stage. "Your fund will fold under pressure," he said loud enough to carry. "You are a fad. Money remembers." Mrs. Nwosu stepped up. "Money forgets pain until law makes it remember," she said. "Here is law." She held up a city letter. Audits for Graves properties. Language access orders. Fine schedules. A murmur rose. Adrian's smile did not break. "Process takes time," he said. "Time runs faster when people sign," she said. She looked at Bianca. "Which side do you sign?" Bianca stared at the city letter. She stared at the servers. She stared at the comments on her phone. She lifted her chin. She spoke one word. "Yours." Graves laughed. "Good luck with that choice." He turned to leave. Teo called after him. "Before you go, one more thing." He pulled up a photo on the screen behind the stage. A freeze frame from a security camera. Graves in a hallway. A busser bent over a time sheet. A hand on the clock. Finger on the dial. Truth under lights. The photo snapped the room quiet. Graves stopped by the door without turning. Adrian's jaw tensed. Bianca stepped back from the screen. Time theft, Teo said. Not from a boss. From a boy. Graves pivoted slow. You set me up. You set yourself up, Teo said. Clip in context. Sit with a board of review now. You face audits across 6 buildings. Staff formed a class. Lawyers filed this morning. He tapped his phone. Names scrolled on the screen. Dishwashers. Cleaners. Night guards. 12 languages. 1 story. Adrian slid into spin. We prefer private talks, he said to the crowd. This display harms everyone. Silence harms, Mrs. Nwosu said. Light heals. Bianca moved to Teo's side. What do you need from me, she asked. Use your channel for the workers, he said. Not for your image. Name the hotline. Name the audits. Host clinics on your roof. No pity. Share power. Put money down. She nodded. Done. Adrian's eyes cooled. We withdraw, he said. Brand misalignment. Translation, Mrs. Nwosu said. The grift lost gloss. Half the room laughed. The other half left. A few stayed. They liked risk with purpose. They liked steady plans. Graves walked toward the stage. You will lose tenants, he said. You will lose speed. You will lose. Teo raised a hand. Enough, he said. We do not run on fear. He turned to the workers by the wall. We open the harbor room on this block in 2 weeks, he said. Legal desk. Jobs desk. Childcare corner. Training. A hotline in 6 languages. You will not stand alone again. The workers clapped. Small at first. Then strong. Some cried. Staff do not clap for fun. They clap when a room breathes different. Bianca held the mic again. I have a confession, she said. I used struggle like a prop. I cared more about clicks than people. I will change that. Hold me to it. A woman at the back called out. Show not talk. Agreed, Bianca said. First check goes to back pay for the crew here. Then rent help for families and cases. Then gear for night guards. Teo nodded. Good start. He stepped off the stage. He walked to the janitor with the bucket. He held out his hand. What is your name? He asked. Luis, the man said. Luis, you lead the first language circle, Teo said. Spanish and English. Pay from day 1. Luis smiled from the eyes. See. 2 weeks turned busy and bright. The harbor room filled with people and plans. Bianca filmed short clips with workers, not over them. She learned to listen then speak. She posted the hotline and the audit checklist. She stopped using words like deserving. Graves pushed back. He sent letters to tenants. He threatened to lock doors. He called in favors. He met his match. The city pressed. The press watched. Tenants knew their rights now. They stood together. He blinked first. Adrian cut ties. He wrote a post about values. He moved on to a new face with a cleaner past. Trend chasers move fast. The block shifted. A grocery added a discount hour for night staff. A cafe put a jar on the counter for legal aid. A barber opened late on Wednesdays for people who sleep after dawn. Small signs of a street in repair. Bianca and Teo met once a week in a plain room. No cameras. She listened to people with pain and plans. He shared budgets. She learned to read a spreadsheet the way she once read likes. Growth with weight. Not gloss. On a quiet Sunday, Teo sat with Mrs. Nwosu on a bench. Sun on brick. Kids on scooters. He asked a question he had avoided. Do I forgive her? You forgive for yourself, she said. Trust earns miles. Not words. He nodded. He pulled a small ring box from his pocket. He looked at it, then laughed at himself and put it back. Slow down, she said. He smiled. Slow, he said. A month later, Bianca hosted a public forum on the roof. Workers told stories. The city outlined new rules. Tenants asked clear questions. Teo closed the night with a short line. Respect is not a speech, he said. Respect is a schedule paid on time and a door that opens. As the crowd thinned, a reporter asked the last question. What happens to Graves now? Teo looked past the reporter at the people heading down the stairs with flyers and dates in hand. We find out tomorrow, he said. Court at 9. He looked into the camera that faced your viewers. His face set. Watch till the end, he said. Do not miss what happens next. Morning came. The courthouse steps filled with workers in plain clothes and strong eyes. Bianca stood off to the side. No heels. No glam. A notebook in hand. Graves arrived with a loose tie and a tight mouth. He did not look at anyone. He walked up the steps with a quick gait. He missed a step and grabbed the rail. The doors opened. Justice with receipts. The hearing moved like a slow train. Lawyers spoke. Workers waited. The judge asked for clarity. The city presented logs, videos, and emails. Time edits. Language bans. Threats on text. The case did not rest on mood. It rested on proof. Graves' team tried to blame managers. The judge looked over glasses. You set the pay, he said. You set the tone. An hour in, Bianca asked to speak. She stepped to the witness seat with her hands steady. I mocked workers, she said. I learned better. I saw harm with my own eyes. I brought people with receipts. She read 3 names into the record. She handed over bank statements from donors to the back pay fund. She named the hotline she now funded each month. She sat back down and wrote 2 more notes while others spoke. No show. Or. Teo spoke next. He kept it short. We tied leases to audits, he said. We opened a worker room on the block. We brought law to where fear ran the floor. He held up a 1-page summary with simple graphs. Claims filed. Back pay delivered. Hours restored. The judge looked, then nodded once. Graves' lawyer shifted to a new tactic. My client supports community growth, he said. He funds youth sports and school drives. The judge raised a hand. Good deeds do not erase wage theft, he said. Pay people. Follow law. The ruling came that afternoon. Fines. Restitution. Monitors. A ban on retaliation. A public posting on each site. A timeline for repairs. A deadline for compliance. No room for games. A cheer rose outside as the news spread. Not a wild cheer. A deep one. Relief sounds low. Graves left by a side door. Cameras found him anyway. He said nothing. Silence does not sell. Adrian posted a statement about shared goals. No one cared. The block had moved on. The harbor room added 2 desks and a small clinic day. A local doctor saw workers for free once a week. A counselor held hours for those who carried long nights on their backs. Bianca paid for a fridge full of fresh food. No selfies. A small sign read, Eat. Rest. You matter. Teo stood on the roof at sunset and looked over the street. He wore no suit. He wore a clean t-shirt and work pants. He felt light but not empty. Work filled the space joy leaves behind. Bianca joined him at the rail. Thank you, she said. For what? He asked. For not turning me into a headline, she said. For pointing me to work. You did the work, he said. She smiled at that. Small. Real. I will ask you something, she said. Not today. Not soon. When trust earns miles. He nodded. He pulled a card from his pocket. He read the line out loud. Respect looks like payroll, eye contact, and clean floors. In that order. She laughed soft. Add 1 more line, she said. Respect looks like listening. He wrote it on the card. He slid it under the glass by the door of the bridge office. 2 lines now. 4 words more. The next week brought new faces to the harbor room. A baker with a rent notice. A driver with a broken wrist. A nanny with back pay owed. The desk stayed full. The kettle stayed hot. The city sent a team to learn the model. A landlord from Queens asked for the audit playbook. A union hall picked up a stack of rights cards. Teo met with Mrs. Nwosu and mapped 3 new sites. East Side. South Side. The docks. He built budgets and called partners. He slept 6 hours instead of 4. On a quiet morning he wrote a short post for a small page. No tags. No brands. We win when workers eat, sleep, and smile at shift change. We win when laughs do not cut. We win when landlords fear law, not when tenants fear landlords. He hit post and put his phone away. He walked downstairs to sweep the front step. A boy watched him and asked, Are you the boss? I serve the room, Teo said. You want to help? The boy grabbed a second broom. They swept together in small strokes. Slow work. Honest work. This story moved you, act. Share this video with 1 person who needs courage. Tell your story in the comments. Name 1 change you want on your block. Subscribe to Echoes of Black Struggles for more true stories of dignity, justice, and growth. Send this to a worker who feels unseen. Send this to a manager who needs a mirror. Then take 1 step where you live. Pay on time. Post rights at work. Learn a neighbor's name. Your voice holds weight. Your choices shape a street.